the solvent down to the surface of the column and close the tap. It is important not to expose the silica to air, but maintain a very minute amount of solvent just above the surface. Using a pipette, gently add your sample to the surface of the column by pipetting the crude mixture along the sides of the column glass. Keep a small amount of your sample as a crude reference at this point. Once all your sample has been added, pipette a minute amount of eluent to ensure all your sample has reached the surface. Run down just a small amount of the solvent through the column by opening the tap. Once all your sample has entered the column's surface, but there is still a minute layer of solvent above, add another pipette of eluent. Run down the solvent slightly further to ensure all the sample has entered the column. Next, begin to pipette your eluent until a significant amount of solvent has been added. Fill the column with the rest of the eluent. Prepare a test tube rack with considerable amount of clean test tubes. Open the tap and adjust the flow rate to give a regular flow, which is not too fast and not too slow. Around 5 to 7 minutes for a test tube should be sufficient. Filling them to around 3/4 of their capacity is enough. Once around 10 to 12 test tubes are filled, prepare a wide TLC plate and mark starting points for each of the test tubes and another spot for your crude mixture. Spot samples from each test tube and run the TLC. Once you develop this, determine whether a fraction of your mixture is eluting out or not. You can also analyze samples through GC for more accurate determination of purity. The ends of each fraction should ideally be checked in this way. Once the series of test tubes in which your product fraction elutes out is collected and you are sure that the contents are pure, pull the test tubes into a large round-bottomed flask and evaporate off most of the solvent. You can then subsequently transfer to smaller flasks as necessary as you go along.